Amara's foot punched straight through the rotten plank. The bridge lurched. One moment there was wood, the next empty air and the roar of the river below. She screamed as her leg dropped, body slamming against the side ropes, blindfold digging into her skin. The whole structure swung wildly. "Hold the rope!" someone shouted. No one moved. "If she falls," Yuan Hyeja's thin voice carried calmly through the wind. "It is the ancestors' will. The bride must prove her worth." "Halmeoni, she'll die!" Hana cried. Silence. The ropes burned Amara's palms. The water thundered under her dangling foot. Her heart hammered so hard she thought her chest would split. "This is not a test," she yelled. "This is murder." On the cliff, Kim Sun-hee's voice stayed soft and cold. "You promised to stand by our son," she called. "Walk or let go." Somewhere behind her, Junho's voice shook. "Amara, don't look down," he stammered. "Just listen to my voice. You can do it." She laughed once, harsh, half hysterical. "She can't even see you. You blindfolded her, remember?" Wind swallowed the words. Rope bit deep into her skin. A few weeks earlier, she believed this family loved their son. Now, dangling over a cliff, she knew better. Now, she had already turned everything they'd done to her into a weapon. A few weeks earlier, she was standing in front of a mirror in a white dress. She still thought love was enough. On her wedding morning, Amara adjusted one last earring and glanced at the phone propped up on the table. Tolu's face filled the screen, grinning from thousands of kilometers away. "Turn around," Tolu ordered. "Let me see the full view. Ah, see this bride. These Koreans are not ready." Amara twirled, laughing. "You're shouting inside a church. People will think I'm mad." "I'm shouting across continents," Tolu shot back. "Different level. Answer me quickly. Are you sure about these in-laws? Men can be sweet, but family can be committee." "They're just traditional," Amara said. "Old school. They're polite, proper. It's fine." "Traditional how?" Tolu narrowed her eyes. Before Amara could answer, there was a soft knock. "Jagiya?" Junho's voice came through the door. "Can I come in?" Amara's face softened. "I'll call you later," she told Tolu. "Next time you see me, I'll have a different surname." Just remember," Tolu said, suddenly serious. "If anything feels off, even small, don't keep quiet. Call me. Promise." "I promise. Love you." "Love you too." Amara ended the call and opened the door. Junho stood there in a dark suit, tie slightly crooked, eyes wide. "You look—" he let out a breath. "Wow." "That bad?" she teased. "Dangerous," he said softly, in a good way. Up close, she saw it, the tightness in his jaw, the way his hand flexed by his side. "You're nervous," she said. "Wedding day," he shrugged. "Big moment." "Not that kind of nervous," she pressed. "What's wrong?" He glanced at the door, then at her. "My family has traditions," he said finally. "Old rituals they do for every bride. They say it protects the family. It's intense." "What kind of rituals?" she asked slowly. "Just tests, ceremonies. My mom did them, my grandmother. Once you pass, they treat you like real family. I didn't tell you before because—" he swallowed. "Because I was afraid you'd run." Her brow creased. "Why would I run if it's just harmless ceremonies?" "It's not harmless," he admitted, voice small. "But no one died. They just push." "That's what you call comfort?" she said, half joking, half uneasy. He took her hands. "I'll be there. I'll protect you. Trust me. After this, it's you and me. Okay?" She searched his face, then nodded. "Okay," she said. "I trust you." For a while, she meant it. The ceremony was beautiful. Mixed songs, mixed families, tears on screens and in pews. When the officiant told them to kiss, she thought the hardest part was over. Then she stepped into the Kim family house. The Kim house felt like a place where nothing unexpected ever happened. Polished wood, old calligraphy, family portraits where everyone's smiles stopped at the eyes. At the entrance, Junho squeezed her hand. "Bow to Helmione first," he whispered. Amara bowed. Yoon Hae-ja watched her, eyes like cold hooks in a lined face. "Welcome," the grandmother said. "We will see if you belong here." Amara blinked. "Excuse me?" "She means," Sun-hee cut in smoothly, stepping closer, "we have customs, rites to bless a new bride. Everyone in our family has done them. It shows strength." Sun-hee's hand adjusted Amara's sleeve like she owned her arm. "You'll see tonight," she said with a small smile. "Rest now." Later, in their room, Amara closed the door and turned on Junho. "You said traditions, not 'we will see if you belong,'" she said. "What exactly are you people planning to do to me?" He sat on the edge of the bed, shoulders sagging. "When I was a kid, I watched my mother kneel for hours on stones, watched my aunt walk blindfolded through the yard while they scared her. My grandmother calls it testing the bride's spirit. They believe if you can't handle it, you'll ruin the family." "And you thought that was normal?" she demanded. "It's how it's always been," he muttered. "But no one died." "That's your bar? No one died?" He winced. "I was scared," he said, voice cracking. "Scared you'd leave me. My family controls my job, the company, everything. I thought, if you just did it, it would be over. We'd be accepted and we could live peacefully. I know how it sounds." "How it sounds," she said flatly, "is like you chose silence over my safety." A knock came. "Time," Sun-hee's voice floated through. "Bring her." Amara stared at the door, then at her phone on the table. She could run. She could call her family, admit she'd made a mistake, but she was alone here, and these people held power. They could twist the story, call her dramatic, unstable, ungrateful foreign bride. Or she could walk in, eyes open, and refuse to let them control the narrative. She picked up her phone, slipped it into her dress, screen facing her hip. If they want a show, she thought, I'll keep the script. In the hallway, as they walked, her thumb slid over the screen. She found a voice recorder app by feel. Tapped once. A small red light blinked to life under the fabric. 2. They led her into a back room with no furniture, just candles and a floor covered in small, sharp stones. "Bow," Yoon Hae-ja said. "On your knees, on the stones." Pain shot up her legs the second they hit the ground. The rocks dug into skin, hard and uncaring. She flinched. "What is this?" "The first test is endurance," Auntie Cho's voice floated from the shadows. Older woman, wrapped in ritual cloth. "You kneel on the stones and hold this bowl of water above your head until the last candle goes out. No tears, no complaints. The ancestors watch." Sun-hee placed a heavy ceramic bowl in Amara's hands. "Lift," she said quietly. Amara stared at it, then at Junho standing uselessly at the edge of the circle. "You're really going to let them do this?" she asked. "It's just one night," he said weakly. "Everyone did it." Under her dress, her phone recorded that sentence. She lifted the bowl. Minutes stretched. Her arms burned. Her shoulders screamed. Sweat slid down her back. The stones felt like they were boring holes into her knees. Someone snorted. "She's shaking already." Ji-won drawled. Sun-hee's voice glided over the pain. "You can stop any time," she said. "Just say you can't handle our way of life." Rage fought with humiliation. Amara's muscles trembled. This is what they think strength is, she thought. Fine. Out loud, through gritted teeth, she said, "Don't talk to me about soft. I came to this country with 2 suitcases, no family, no language. I studied, I worked. I'm here because I chose your son, not because I lack strength." The room went quiet. Even Yoonhae Ja's eyes sharpened a little. Candle by candle, the flames shrank. Finally, the last one sputtered out. "Lower it," the grandmother said. Her arms dropped. She nearly spilled the water. Her knees screamed as she tried to stand. "Acceptable," Yoonhae Ja said, "for a foreigner." They filed out. In the hallway, Hana darted to her side, slipping an arm around her. "Annie, you're bleeding," Hana whispered. "Come, I'll help you to your room." In the bedroom, Amara locked the door and lifted her dress. Her knees were raw, tiny cuts, already bruising. Hana winced. "I told them you're not used to this. They didn't care." Amara pulled out her phone and stopped the recording. "Hold the dress," she said. Hana blinked. "Why?" "Because if I disappear, someone needs to see why." She snapped clear photos of her knees, then opened the audio and listened. Soonhee's taunts, Ji-won's insults, Yoonhae Ja's orders, Junho's weak defense. She sent it all to Tolu with a short message. "If I go quiet, it's not by choice. Save these." Within seconds, Tolu replied, "What am I hearing? Stones? Who is that old woman? This is not marriage. This is documentary. Record everything. Do you hear me? Everything." Amara looked at Hana. "How many tests?" she asked. 3, Hana whispered. "Endurance, fear, sacrifice." "How many brides?" Amara said. "All passed," Hana said. Then, after a beat, "Except one." "Her name," Amara pressed. Hana's voice dropped. "Seo Ji-hae. They say she ran away. We're not supposed to ask." Amara's jaw clenched. "Then we'll ask without asking," she said. The second test started with a blindfold. They tied it over her eyes and led her into the courtyard at night. The air was damp. She could hear chains clinking, animals shifting in cages, whispers. "The bride will walk to the old well," Auntie Cho's voice intoned. "Blindfolded. The path is narrow. The ground is uneven. If she reaches without falling, the spirits accept her courage." "And if she doesn't?" Amara asked. "Then she was never meant for us," Yoonhae Ja replied. Her phone, taped under her arm beneath the sleeve, vibrated once, a last message from Tolu before the Wi-Fi dropped. "Don't just survive, gather proof." "Move," the grandmother ordered. Amara took a breath and stepped forward. The earth shifted under her feet, loose stones, small holes, chains dragged just close enough to brush her ankles. Something hissed. She fought the urge to jump away. "She's too slow. Ji-won said Seo Ji-hae ran faster than this." "So Ji-hae still screamed," someone else muttered. The recorder picked up every word. Her foot slid into a hidden hole. She crashed to her knees, palms scraping on gravel. "She fell," a voice said, almost satisfied. "She got up," Hana's small voice answered. Amara pushed herself up, anger burning hotter than fear now. "Keep talking," she thought. "Say her name again." By the time she reached the well, hands feeling rough stones, heart pounding, Auntie Cho declared the spirits satisfied. The blindfold came off. Lantern light showed a narrow, trapped path, chains hooked to posts, small pits dug deliberately. "Enough," Junho said quietly. "She's done 2 nights. That's enough." "There is always a third," Soon-hee replied, "the most important." Later, in bed, he watched her wrap bandages around her scraped palms. Don't do the next one, he whispered. We can run. Now? She asked, after they already have bruises on my body and their words on tape? He stared. You recorded? He breathed. Every second, she said. If they push me again, I won't be the only one on trial. That night, when the house was dark, she slipped into the hallway. The last door on the left was always locked. Hana appeared, pale in the dim light. You can't go in there, Hana whispered. If they see... That was Soji Hei's room, Amara said. Wasn't it? Silence. Help me or walk away, she said. But I need to know what happened here. Hana hesitated, then moved aside. Amara used a small flat stone she'd taken from the fear path, jamming it into the lock. Old metal cracked. The door eased open. Dust floated in the air. A half-packed suitcase in the corner, a dress still wrapped in clear plastic, a framed photo of a young woman, Soji Hei, smiling softly. On the desk, under old magazines, was a small notebook. Seo's name on the first page. Amara flipped it open, scanning lines under the light of her phone. Today, Halmione says I must not bring shame. She says only strong women survive in this house. I am scared, but I want to be a good wife. She hit record and read key passages out loud, translating where she could. If I die, one page said, I hoped someone reads this and does not call it tradition. Hana's hand flew to her mouth. They said she ran, Hana whispered. Amara slipped the notebook under her dress. She tried, she said. They just chased her to the edge. She sent photos of the pages to Tolu, then to her brother, who had been pacing in messages ever since the first audio. His call came in almost immediately. This is not rumor level anymore, he said. This is real evidence. Send me everything. Location, names. If they touch you again, I'm calling every number I can find. You're already calling, she said quietly. Just not them. The third test would make sure the right people picked up. By the time they led her to the mountain, she was done pretending. The sky was gray, wind tore at her clothes, the river roared below the cliff. They tied the blindfold, loosened the ropes around her wrists just enough so she could hold. This crossing makes you truly one of us, Auntie Cho said. You walk in trust, not sight. Trust who? Amara asked. The same people who pushed other women to walk in trust and then called them weak when they fell? Yoon Hye-ja's voice cut through. Move. Her phone was secured tight under her sleeve, app open, signal strong enough to send her location the moment she pressed the emergency shortcut earlier. She stepped onto the bridge. Wood creaked, rope groaned. Remember, Sen-hee called, if you fall, it means you were not meant to carry our name. Perfect, Amara said. If I fall, the whole world will know exactly whose name I refused to carry. Halfway across, the rope jerked violently. Ji-won's laugh floated over, just checking if it's safe. The plank beneath her foot snapped. Her leg plunged through. The bridge rocked. She screamed. Heel Mani, stop this, Hana shouted. He shook it. If she falls, the spirits, the grandmother began. Sirens sliced the air. Sharp, rising, close. Everyone turned. Police cars ground to a halt on the road above, lights flashing. Officers poured out, some in uniform, some plainclothes. Behind them, a camera crew set up quickly. At their front, a tall man from Amara's home, shoulders tight with rage, strode forward, her brother. Beside him, Tolu held a phone aloft, live stream already running. There, Tolu's voice carried, that's the holy test they talked about. Can you see the bridge? Can you see my friend? This is what some people call culture. Who called them? Sen-hee hissed. Amara hauled herself back onto the wood with shaking arms, clutching the rope. I did. Every time you hurt me, you helped. I just pressed record and send. Two officers grabbed the ropes, steadying the bridge. One edged out, reached for her. "Careful," he said, "slow steps." Her brother's voice cracked across the gap. "Amara, don't rush. They're not worth you slipping now." She let the officer lead her back, each plank in accusation. On solid ground, her brother pulls her into a fierce hug, then turned on the family. "Is this how you welcome a wife? By dangling her over a river?" "This is our private right," Sun-hee shot back. "It stopped being private when she started bleeding," he cut in, "and when your voices went into her phone." The lead officer stepped forward. "We received multiple reports," he said evenly. "Photos, audio recordings, and a diary belonging to a missing woman called Seo Ji-hae, along with a live location and description of what you're doing right now." Yoon Hye-ja lifted her chin. "This is our tradition, not a crime." The officer glanced at Amara. She nodded once. He pulled out a small speaker and pressed play. Ji-won's recorded voice echoed over the cliff. "Like Seo Ji-hae, she screamed all night that day." The grandmother's face froze. Another clip. "Sun-hee, you can stop any time. Just admit you're not strong enough for our way of life." Another. "Auntie Cho, if she falls, she was never meant to join us." The officer snapped the device off. "Tradition is not a shield against the law," he said. "You are under investigation for ritual abuse, assault, and suspected involvement in the disappearance of Seo Ji-hae." Officers moved in. One took the diary from Amara, gloved hands, careful. Another began separating family members for questioning. Sun-hee rounded on Amara, mask cracking. "You set us up," she spat. "You came here to destroy us." "I came here to marry your son. You destroyed yourselves the day you decided brides were test subjects. I just refused to suffer quietly." She turned to Junho. He looked shattered. "You recorded everything," he said hoarsely. "Even me?" "Especially you," she replied. "You knew. You stayed silent. You asked me to prove myself, while you never once proved you could protect me." "I was afraid of losing everything." "You did," she said. "You just didn't realize everything wasn't your mother's approval. It was your humanity." He swallowed hard. "What do you want me to do?" he asked. "Tell the truth," she said. "To them, to the court, to yourself. Don't soften it with culture or that's how it's always been." Hannah stepped forward, tears streaming. "I'll testify too," she choked. "I'll say what they did. To you, to Seo Ji-hae, to every bride who shook on those stones." Sun-hee whirled on her. "You dare?" "Ma'am," an officer cut in, "anything you say can and will be used against you." Tolu, still streaming, muttered just loud enough. "See how confession comes fast when the camera is on?" Amara watched them being led away. Grandmother muttering, mother-in-law pale, Ji-won suddenly small without his smirk, Auntie Cho quiet. Each test they'd forced on her was now a line in a police report. Kneeling on stones, physical evidence, photos, audio, blindfolded path, recordings of threats, admissions, bridge, attempted homicide caught live. She had turned their own tradition into a case file. Months later, back in her home country, Amara sat in her parents' living room while a documentary played on the TV. Her own face looked back at her, calm, composed. "The first night," her recorded self said, "they made me kneel on stones until my skin broke. They said it was to prove I was strong. I realized very quickly I wasn't the thing being tested. Their humanity was." The interviewer asked, "What did you do?" "I did the one thing abuse fears most," she said. "I started recording." Images flashed on screen, her bruised knees, a blurry shot of the ritual room, captions of Sun-hee's words, a lawyer explaining how rarely anyone had proof of things like this. Amara's voice cut back in. Every time they tried to break me, they handed me a piece of evidence, she said. Their stones became my photos, their insults became my audios, their secret room became Seo Ji-hae's testimony, their bridge became a live broadcast. They thought I was their test. They were mine. Tolu had paused and turned to her. You know your face is now symbol of don't suffer in silence threads all over the internet, right? She said. Good, Amara replied softly. Maybe someone watching will press record one day sooner than I did. Her phone buzzed. A message from Hana. Today the court gave real sentences, years, for Halmioni, Auntie Cho, Ji-won. Less for Oma, but still guilty. Oppa is doing community service and speaking out about what he hid. I moved out. I'm studying to help other girls. I'm scared, but free. Thank you. Another from an unknown number. She didn't need to see the name to know. I told them everything, the message read, about the tests, about Seo Ji-hae, about my silence. They called me a traitor. You were right. I betrayed you first. I don't ask for forgiveness. I just wanted you to know I'm trying not to be that man again. She stared at it for a long moment, then put the phone face down. Her brother walked in, dropping onto the sofa. So, famous sister, people want more stories. They want you to keep exposing these things. Maybe I will, she said. No more tests for me, though. Only truth. She looked past whatever lens might be watching, straight at the invisible listener. If you're in something that feels like this, where love keeps asking you to bleed to prove you belong, remember, you don't have to pass their tests. You can flip them, save proof, tell someone who believes you, and when they throw their traditions at you, build something so solid it crushes the whole toxic system. If you've stayed with Amara's story until now, take a second to subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And tell me in the comments, at which point would you have started recording? After the stones, the blindfolded path, or the bridge? More Afro-Korean drama stories are coming, where women don't just survive what's done to them, they turn it back on everyone who thought they were powerless.